install our lab environment so we can do our testing. So we can install this VM. This is Mr. Robot. So if we go over here, the first thing you gotta do is go to www.wordpress.com. When you're there, then you go to Mr. Robot over here, and then you go. When you put Mr. Robot like this, it will be three machines like this one. So you're gonna open this one, and as you can see, you can download it from here. Okay, but this is a description of so we can do our lab in a more professional way. Okay, so in other words, what we can do is as you can see, this is based on the show, Mr. Robot. I like this machine. So this VM has 3 keys hidden in different locations, but we're not gonna go. And that's not the objective of this course. Pretty much what we can do is like in this engagement, I will perform a structured web penetration test against the WordPress instance in a control lab environment, right, which is going to be this one. The objective is to demonstrate Reconnaissance, Enumeration, Credential compromise, authenticated remote code execution, and privilege escalation. And by then we're going to clean up and everything, okay? So before we start with the Recon, let's download this machine. So you're going to download this machine over here. Like I was saying, I already told you what's the objective of this machine. So you download over here, okay? Download. Now, something that might happen to you when you download this machine. Like I already have it downloaded, as I show you over here. I even have it running already. So if I go over here, I already have it running. So now let me. If you have antivirus, in your case, it might tell you. It might tell you that it will be blocked by your antivirus. Okay. So you download. After you download it, you save it in whatever place. Like I have in my disk. So after this, let me stop this because I already have it. Okay. So you download it. In my case, I have it downloaded over here. Let me show you, brothers and sisters. I have it downloaded here. This guy is worth. I'm be making this video. So this is Mr. Robot. This is the videos I'll be making. So it's a lot. This is what I'm going to be making. This is the course I'll be making. I just gotta put it together. By the time you see it, it's because I already did. Okay. Now you already seen the anomaly. So if your antivirus is doing a good job, like in my case, I haven't. In my case, as you see, since I'm trying to download this, I had to let it go by because otherwise it will be blocked. So I tell them to what you call it, to let it pass through. Okay. So if I go over here and I go to history, as you see, it was blocked. So I downloaded it 2 days ago. So I had to come over here and tell them to let it pass by because you will say that it's an attacker malware. So you will know. Okay. After you download it, then you let it go through. Then your firewall going to be working normal again. So now after that it's downloaded, then how you open it? So you go over here and then you go to file, and then you put import appliance, and then over here you look for this part over here and find where you locate. In my case, I locate in D. So I go to downloads and here it is. Okay. In my case, download it. I say open and it will open. But since I already got it, so I'm gonna open and see. So from here, everything's preset. So everything will be preset over here, as you can see. So you see, I got a VM. So this, if I do again, it will be VM1. So it will change the name because it cannot be double. So if I finish, for example, I got, and you can see I already got another VM running. Okay, over here. So now that you have that, now since it's doing this in a moment, you're gonna have to go in the settings. First, you gotta wait until all the process. Now you can run this machine. So you open it right, and then you go to settings, and then you go to system. As you can tell, since it's a virtual machine, even with half a gigabyte is good. You can make it 1 if you want to, if you have the resources, 1 gigabyte, and you can make 1. Now on processors, and then we go to display. Memory, make sure it's 128. Storage, let's see. CPU with 1 is okay. And then you go to network. And network by automatic is pre-configured for bridge adapter. In my case, I'm running it host only adapter, okay? Because this is how you isolate this machine that is vulnerable from the internet. There's no internet getting in or getting out. Nobody can see this equipment in the network. Okay. Now if you have bridge adapter, as I explained the other day, then it will be on your local network and it will have an IP like your regular machine. So in this case, what I did is I have it. So you're gonna configure to host only adapter like that. Okay. Now my Kali, as you can see, if I go to settings, I got three different. Like if you want to see how my Kali have 4, and then display, I have it. Oh, so you can copy and things. You go over here by direction, so you can control copy, control paste, like that. Then over here in systems, you make sure it has this. Okay, because I have it running, it looks like that. So networks, I got NAT on number 1 and check. Number 2, I have host only adapter, and on 3, I got wireless bridge adapter. But right now, I'm running on this one. Okay, so okay, let me cancel this because I'm already running. So this is so you go over here and you run your machine. You go and then run right as I show you. Okay, now after you run your machine, it will be like this, and it will open up like that. Now Control F, so you can see your mouse. Okay, now let me make this small. Now let me get into my Kali Linux machine. Kali Linux machine. So I open this, and I already created this so it could be easier and quicker for us, because when you do this, it's going to take time, and the video will be too long. So to make it quicker, I'm going to start with the first phase. Since we already have the lab, so now we have this machine running, which is my vulnerable machine, Mr. Robot, and this is my Kali machine. Now, if I go to my Kali, as you can see, we have everything running. So the first command you're going to run is this. Okay, arc scan -l. So that command, it will give you the machines. As you can see, is 192.168.56.113. That's my machine. This my Mr. Robot. Okay, as you can see, I only have 2. There will be another one because VirtualBox opens an IP for himself. Okay, so when you do your scanning, you're gonna make sure which is which. So phase 1 is Reconnaissance. Okay, Reconnaissance phase identifies exposed surfaces and maps that attack surface. In other words, so we already did ARP to make sure you know which machine is on. So let me open this so you can see in another section without messing it up, so I can follow correct. So if I do ARP like that, you will notice it will open this. Okay, this is my. And if I do, for example, Nmap, the reason I'm doing like that because it takes longer. So it's going to be taking longer for me to explain all this because it's doing the work, right? So like I was saying, so this is a full TCP scan as I explained you the other day in Nmap, when we see Nmap. Now, as you can see, -S, I told you what's the default scripts, -SV service version, and -P means all ports. So this is a full scan, full TCP scanning all ports, okay? And now, and min rate 5,000 means faster scan, the faster. Now in real life, you don't do this because you're going to get picked up really quick and you're going to be blocked. So, but this is CTF, okay, example control lab. So you can do this because you're not affecting nobody. Is within your own system, okay. Now, as you can see, we got port 80, and it tells you the version and everything, okay. So an HTTP service is exposed, and now we can fingerprint the web stack. Okay, so now we can do WhatWeb, for example, and run this command. Now, as you can see, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see as it's running, and you're gonna see after you run that command, you're gonna see this. Okay, sometimes it tells you the country. It tells you, as you can see, it tells you it's Apache and the IP and so on. Now the next command we're gonna do is find out more about it. Okay, and for that we're gonna run Nikto. Okay, so on the fingerprinting it, they call this. If the WordPress is detected, then the application you're gonna say is running WordPress, and which becomes attack surface. Okay, this is a WordPress site, but for the moment this is what we got. So we can go, since we already got the IP and we want to make sure it is this IP, we can open for example, we can open a browser, and we say 192 HTTP. There we go. Except that that's not exactly what I want. That's the log page. We can open only that. So when you go to your IP, it will be different from mine. It will open like this. Okay, check it out. Nice, beautiful. Whoever created this was really, really good. Great imagination, great skills. As you can see, you can read a hello friend. And this is pretty cool too, because you can check for, like, let's say for example you want to say inform. No, I shouldn't run there. My bad, player. It's over here. So let's say you say inform. Those are commands you can run. It gives you information like that. Okay, and so on. Now then you say help. You can write help, and it gives you another, and you can write another command. So let's wake up.
What I'm about to tell you is top secret. A conspiracy bigger than all of us. There's a powerful group of people out there that are secretly running the world. I'm talking about the guys no one knows about, the guys that are invisible. The top 1% of the top 1%, the guys that play God without permission.
Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool. So you can just refresh. Get that. So you can refresh and it will come to normal, okay? Now, since you already know that's your machine, let's continue. We could have ran a ping too. We could have, let's do ping. You could have said ping, just to make sure if it's up. And as you can see, you got ping back, so that means that the host is up, okay? So let's continue with this. So the next command you should run, okay? The next command is going to be, you already found out, with Nikto, I was telling you, I didn't know if I ran Nikto. So we finished, we stop over here with Nikto. So the next command is going to be Nikto. Now, Nikto identifies exposed files, updated components, and insecure configurations. Okay, that's what Nikto does. Nikto is pretty cool too. So you can run Nikto, and it tells you the server. It gives you information about admin, whatever, right? So that's something you can check out too. The command Nikto here. Now another command that you're gonna have to run. Now let's move into phase 2. They call it enumeration. So enumeration extracts actionable intelligence, in other words. So when we ran, for example, this command, Gobuster. Okay, we can run that command. So if I come over here and run Gobuster, well, you already have this, so you can run it by your own, but so I don't take too long. So the command you can run is this. Okay, it's gonna be this one over here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is how we're gonna do this course, so you can have an idea, and you can, if you have a better understanding, I'll put it over here by step how we're gonna go by. So we're gonna do enumeration. So this command you're gonna have to run enumerate. So you come over here after you run this. Well, since we're doing, I wanna go first into Gobuster, I guess. Gobuster over here. This command, Gobuster. Okay, Gobuster. This is the command. Sorry, this command. And we already talked about Gobuster the other day. So Gobuster gives us a good idea of what's open, or what's has access, and what is directed, redirected, and what is no permission to access. Okay, so you can run the command to have a better view of whatever. Okay, now as you can see, there are so many steps. So let's say for example you want to check this. You Control C, and then we go over here and slash. Let's see what it brings us. It gives us, see, it gives us information. Let's see what's this. Something that you gotta when you do your pen testing. You gotta realize that sometimes developers often expose hidden path inside robots.txt, okay? Something you should have in mind. Let's see what's over here. Since we're not doing this, but I know over here is something cool. I don't have no internet. Okay, now let me continue with the course. Now, since we already did that, right? This is where you can find when you do this, we go back with Gobuster, for example. This is how you should go. So first of all, with Gobuster, you should, let's see if I have it here. Gobuster. Let me see. I think this is it. So yeah, before you run the command, you should go over here into /user/share/word list, and this list will appear. You might have q.txt in zip or comprise, so you might have to unpack it. Now, but we're using setlist. Setlist is one of the most used lists with lots of different passwords that been real password from data breaches and stuff. So you can go as the commands over here show you. See, word list, and then you move. Like in this case, for Gobuster, you go discovery, okay, passwords and usernames. As we go on, I'm going to be explaining because these are folders or directories that you might, or binaries that you might be very interested. In this case, we can use discovery because what discovery does, it says it, right? Discovers, okay? So if you go to web content, for example, and you do ls, you will notice they have a whole bunch of list folders, some with millions of passwords. So you have big ones like this one, and you have small ones, common.txt, for example. So we're going to pick a common.txt. Okay, that's what we're going to pick. Okay, now let's continue. So to run this one, as you can see over here, with Gobuster, you run the command -u for the URL or the IP, -w for the word list. In this case, comment.txt. But you have to, it didn't run over here because you first need to move yourself like this. You have to put it like that with the whole directory, or you can move yourself into this directory or to setlist, or just run it all the way from here. So after you do that, you will notice it ran. Okay. Now, as you can see, there are many. Let's check this one. This one is redirected. Oh, there we go. It's telling us over here. It took a while, but they open. It's a dictionary. I'm not going to give you too many clues, but over here is the key, the first key. So for the moment, I'm not going to go into it because that's not my objective of this course. So let's see where we redirect this. So over here, for example, as you can see, if you go over here, it will login.php. I press admin.php and redirects me over here. So it's login, right? So in login, for example, you can, if you put this user, it says the field is empty, right? So invalid user, okay? As you notice. So if we put another user, for example, John, it gives us also a problem, okay? Mr. Robot, it gives us a problem. So we already have an admin login interface that we can get in, or panel. So how do we get in? So we go over here, for example, and you go, and this is where you come and do another. We identify users using tools, okay? So one way to identify users is running this command over here. This command, if you run it, okay? So the reason I don't want to do everything because it takes too much time for me. So, and there's so many commands too, by the way. So you can run it your own. I already showed you the command. As you can see, there are so many commands I have. Okay, now that's not the. So let's go over here. You're gonna run this command. No, sorry, it's this command. So if you come, so instead of typing it, because it takes me longer for this video. So we want to identify the user. If the user is identified, it's easy for us. So you run this, for example, and it will start scanning and see which user is identified. Okay, as you can see. So let's move over here. So you can do this on your own, okay? I just show you the basics so you can work on yourself. It didn't work over here because I put a -u. It's without the -u. And what we do, we enumerated what's the username. In this case, after the scanning, it didn't find no users found. So what we do there is use another tool. This tool is Hydra. Okay, Hydra. Hydra. And it tells you how to run it too. So over here, how to set it up. So in this case, what I did was, it didn't find no user, I was telling you. So I ran this command. So username, okay, you say Hydra-t /4 so it's telling to check four users at a time, variable, so you can see it, and -f. You can read it over here like I show you. You can get whatever doubts you have. You can come over here and analyze it. But it gives you an example, so you can run yourself. Now this is the command I ran. So I told him on this IP, I want to come and check these usernames, top users, shortlist.txt. And over here, I think I was showing you that I have this. What's this? So usernames, okay. As you notice over here, I have usernames and I have passwords. We already did discovery. So what you do is you see the usernames and then you do NLS and it will tell you what it has. But we want a smaller one because we don't want so much. So I use the shortlist. Now, if these ones have millions of passwords of data breaches that have been done before. So in this case, I did cat, and as you can see, it's a small list just for the purpose of demonstration of how this works. I had to edit, and in this case, to make it short, edit. Okay, but as you can see, there are different users. This is the most common user with shortlist, but it has root, admin, guest, add, MySQL, user, administrator, and so on. So it even has you call this cloud, like Azure user, EC2 user, and so on. So after you go there, then you come to setlist again, and you can see the other part, the password. So on the password, I used so as you see, I went to password, I did ls, and I used common credentials. Okay, so I moved to common credentials and ls again to see what it has inside, and also it has millions and millions of passwords of data that have been breached before. So I picked the smaller one over here. So if I did, I cat top dash passwords dash shorts list.txt. I cat so I can see it, and as you can see, here is. So now we want to know. So what this gonna do? This tool Hydra, what it does is we tell him, okay, over here, go and attack. We give him a list of usernames and a list of passwords, and you're gonna use each and see how. So from one user, you're gonna run the whole password list, the next user, the whole password list, and so on and so on. So until it finds the proper password and user. If the website is not well set up, if it doesn't block this type of attack, brute force attack, eventually we'll find the name and the username and the password. Okay. So in this case, let's continue with the course. So I was telling you that I run this, and I tell him, okay, use username, okay, / and I give him the whole path, as you see. Then I tell him the password / and over here the IP. Then I tell him HTTP post form. You gotta do this correctly because over here you want to tell him how this reacts when something is right. As you can see, if I put wrong username and wrong password, it will give me an error. But it said invalid user, lost password. Now, how about if I use a valid user and the password given a different error? So instead of writing all this, you just put error because either way it will give us an error. So over here you put over here and you write pass, submit, error. So make sure you write it like that and then you run. Okay. Oh, but I forgot to mention, in order to run this, since we're using shortlist from setlist, you need to move to this directory. If you move to the directory, you do ls again, you will notice that this is where all the lists are. So now we go back to WCD to setlist, and then we run it from there. Then if you run it from there, you will notice it will start running. And check all these. Please do not use military services and illegal purposes. And that's please don't do it. This is so you can upgrade your skills, brothers, so you can become good, you can make a good living without hurting others. So after we ran this, we got the port, the host, and we got the credentials. Name, edit, password, ER28-0652. And this can be done quick. Like if I get this, let me see if where is it? Yeah. So this can be done quick, but you don't have to do it yourself, so you can check it out. Now I did it in 2 ways, so it could be easier for you. I did it in one string, whole string, and I did it, it's the same command. As you can see, it has the same password with Hydra, and I did it like this too, in different, as you can see, so different format, separated, like, see, slash, so you can go to the next line, but whatever is easier for you, okay? So I ran it. Either way, you got the password and the user. Now we have the password and the user. Before we ran we ran this scan over here, WPScan, and it didn't get us no username. No username, it didn't get us no username before this, when we enumerated. Now, if we ran this, since we already know that the username, we can run it again, and you will notice you will have a different output, because so you run this command like that, username Elliot, and you can say dash password, and you give them a list, like we did before. In this case, we give them the short list. But remember, you got to be in save list to run this. And if you run, now it will give you the correct password and the username, okay? Because you set it up correctly. You already have an enumerated user. So if we go over here and we copy this password, let's move over here. So we do Elliot, and then let's see if we can go in. Boom. And then we already in, brothers. As you can see, so we are identifying valid WordPress users. We already did that, which was edit. And the valid user has been identified, and that since it gave us an attack surface that is bigger. So now we ran the commands, and now we already got inside, because a weak password policy has resulted in administrative compromise. Okay. So now we inside. Now let's go into it over here, so you can have a look as we go through. So we already passed this. These are the commands you're gonna run: credentials, attack, the commands you're gonna run, where you can go, and so on. Okay. As you can see, we authenticate yourself over here with the password. This is the command in 2 different formats. I told you I'll give it to you, so you can have it one string and the other one with different lines. Now we're going to go into remote code execution via, I'm going to show you how. So, copy this, because this I'm going to need it later. So we are over here. If you ever had a website, you know you can go into post and see what's written. You can go into media. You can see all your plugins, what you have. You can see what users you have. And so as you can see, Elliot is administrator, and he doesn't have double authentication. So when somebody captures the username, name, and the password, it automatically goes in. If you would have double authentication, that would stop the attack right there, and they would have a bigger problem to pass through. I'm not saying it's not possible, because it's indeed possible. If there's a will, there will always be a way. So now this is one of the vulnerabilities that you can find over here is so if you go to editor, for example, as you can see, you have the template. They give you, so in editor, in appearance, you can go to editor, and one of the vulnerabilities that you got over here is that you can create a backdoor. Okay, you can create a backdoor. So let's select, for example, you can do it in the footer or in the header. In this case, let's select this template. So what this template does is, when you look for example, let me open another. What this template does, if you look for a page and it's not there, it will send you an error. So let's say you want to go to page, you do slash, let's say page 100, for example, like that. You say, oops, that page couldn't be found. So that's a 404 error, okay? So what we're going to do over here, we're going to create a remote execution on the WordPress theme. The editor allows direct modification of what they call PHP files, okay, PHP. If not disabled, this feature enables arbitrary code execution. They call it arbitrary code execution. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to come over here. Let me close this, because until this one we already have advanced onto that stage. This too can be closed. And let's leave that for a moment, just in case, for more explanation. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a listener. So you should dash, as we always do it, listen verbose import 444, okay, which is the default port for Netcat. So we listen on this port. So now we go over here into this template, and then we're going to Control A, so we can select everything, and we erase this. Now we paste. I already have this over here. So this is what you're going to paste. This is what you're going to paste into this page, like this. Okay. So what you're telling him is, when somebody go to a page that is not there, please connect to the attacker's machine, which is Kali. My IP, if I come over here and see, it's over here, and I do IPA just to see, you will notice that my machine is, what's up is this one. Okay. This one. Okay, didn't give me. Let's see if it didn't give me my IP, but I know it because this is what I got, right? There we go. IP. So that's my IP. So let's come over here again. So that's what I tell them. So when an error happens, or when a page that is not there, please connect to my IP on the port /444. They call it TCP backdoor, reverse TCP. So let's save this, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. But first we update file. Okay, it's updated. Let's do it twice just in case. It's update file. Now check this out. So we are here. Let me see if I can. Let me do this smaller. So let's see if I can bring this so you can see when both things happens at the same time. So okay. Now we are listening on this. We are listening over here. See. So if I go, and I remember I went over here, and this page, it says page not found. So if I refresh, look what happened. I got a connection in there. Okay. So I have a remote text. So I got a connection. First I had a listener, right? So I prepared a listener to call it to receive a reverse shell. So we already injected the reverse shell payload into this page, in the 444. And now what it does is we saved it, and this payload forces the server, listen to this, forces the server to initiate a reverse connection back to my machine, brothers, this machine, the one I just showed you. Okay, the one I just showed you over here, I think it was. Yes, over here. So how do you like that? How do you like that? So we have a receiver, right? So in other words, authenticated file modification has resulted in remote code execution. Now in phase 6.
Greetings. We are from the future. Everything is going to be all right. The future is a beautiful place, but you'll need some training in order to inhabit it. In the future, technology evolves faster than any human mind can think. When the singularity occurred, we became like gods, able to create entire worlds in the blink of an eye. Every thought had drastic immediate impact. All of our dreams became a reality. But so did our nightmares. The future became a battle of ideas. We had to learn to direct our minds to prevent dark psychological forces from destroying all of us. Now, with every new world we create, we summon the sacred imperative for life. Let there be light. 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 How can we be from the future, you might ask? Let us explain. Plants harvest light with near perfect efficiency. But this is impossible under classical physics. Along the way to the photosynthesizing core, photons of light should collide with other particles. But they don't. A photon reaching the core is as likely to succeed as you sprinting blindfolded through a dense forest, reaching the center without striking a single tree. Plants are engaged in a kind of miracle. The plant puts the photon into a state of quantum superposition, multiplying it by every route that photon could possibly take. Imagine blindly sprinting through a forest, being multiplied into every one of the billions of possible paths. If any one of your possibilities were observed hitting a tree, the superposition would collapse, and that would be your final outcome. But the plant patiently refuses to observe any of these casualties, while at its heart it continues to sing, "Let there be light. Let 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 there be light." When any of the possibilities finally reaches the core without fail, only that winner is observed. All the other possibilities disappear. The winner is transmitted back through time, from the future, and becomes the only possibility that ever existed. This is how photons reach the plant's core with impossible precision. This is how you and every organism in existence overcame the massive improbabilities of life. This is how we are from the future. This is how you will become the light of the world as we invoke the sacred imperative together. Let there be light. 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 Let there be light.